Recently, I returned back to Australia after traveling the world for 5 years. Obviously, I learned a huge amount about myself, about the world, about other people. So I really just wanted to make a video about what this actually meant to me and how traveling the world for 5 years actually changed my life. So I left Australia in 2018. I didn't have much money at all. I had a few $1,000s in the bank account. I didn't have any assets, so I packed everything up in a bag and moved to Vietnam, where I lived in Hanoi, Da Nang, and Ha Long for about 2.5 years. After that, I moved to Mexico for about 5 months, Guatemala for 3 months, United States for a year, then Ecuador for 6 months. So mostly I was teaching English, working in hostels, managing retreat centers, working in bars and pouring coffees. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could leave the country and I could thrive without money, without having a job lined up, without having any other opportunities or advantages like passive income. And I wanted to see if I could actually make this work. So it was to prove something to myself, and it was to show myself that I am capable of having a great lifestyle if I want to make it work. So the journey all up was about 4 years and 8 months or so. And it wasn't just backpacking the entire time. Of course, I had to work from country to country, and what I did was jump from opportunity to opportunity and pretty much just went with the flow of whatever came my way. Not to say that it didn't have its challenges, because it tested me in every fucking way, believe me, but I am happy to say that I overcame those challenges, that at the end of the day, looking back on the experience, it was an incredible journey. I met so many amazing people, I had so many adventures, and I proved to myself that I could leave the country with pretty much nothing and actually thrive overseas. First thing I want to mention is that your values really define the trajectory of your life experience. If you value things like comfort and security and stability, maybe you just want a nice house and you want to start a family to sort of go down the road of career growth where you can make a lot of money, where you can be just secure, where you have that lifestyle, that's perfectly fine. But if you have those values, you're probably not going to have a lifestyle traveling the world. So your values really do matter. I value adventure, I value freedom, I value growth and challenges and opportunities, because I want to live a life where I am pushing myself. Because if I am never doing that, I believe it's just going to restrict my life experience. So my values help me really ride that wave and pack everything up into, pack my entire life into a backpack and really just set on the road to actually have an adventure and see what happens and see where it goes without necessarily having a plan, without going down the corporate route and using my degree to actually secure something back in Australia that, I could be down this road by now. I could have a nice job where I'm making a lot of money. I could have a nice house, but I decided to throw that all in so I can have some adventures in life. I don't know where that's going to lead me in the future. I don't know if this mentality will serve me later on down the road, but I care about what I experience right now. I don't want to be working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life and then regretting life at the end of the day. So it really does come down to your values. If you do value things like freedom and adventures, then it's going to make it much easier to have this sort of lifestyle because you don't mind the sacrifices that come with it. You're happy to sacrifice your comfort. You're happy to sacrifice your security. You're happy to not do what everyone else does just because everyone else does it. If you want to have a different lifestyle, if you want to go against the grain, it starts by reprioritizing your values in life and what you actually want out of this life experience. The quality of your life really depends on the people in your life. And I've got a completely different perception of just people in general after going on this journey. I've met so many people from every corner of the world, and that is really the beauty of traveling, is that you see the human experience for what it is. You're not enclosed in this little bubble of the same people, the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same bullshit, because you are actually forced to mingle and to explore different cultures and personalities and make different connections work. And that's the beautiful thing about traveling, is that it forces you out of your comfort zone, where you actually need to take the incentive to meet people, to network, because if you don't do that, you're going to be by yourself the entire time. If you're living at home, you don't necessarily have that incentive because you have your friend groups and you have people that you've been around for a long time. So it's easy to get complacent and just stick around the same people. When you're traveling, you don't have that. You need to make it work. You need to meet people yourself. So you do. You get out of your comfort zone and you really actually go out and meet people. And I used to be a pretty shy individual. Like, I couldn't hold a conversation for my life. I couldn't do a lot of things. I just didn't have that social competence that I do now. And I do thank traveling very much for helping me develop all these social skills and make it easy to just go out and talk to someone. And I am so grateful to have had these experiences that I've had, because it forced me to push myself out of my comfort zone and meet people. It forced me to actually develop this social competence, because people aren't going to come to me. I need to go into their lives. I need to figure out a way to network and connect with people in every single country, in every single city. Every time I move on to another location, which is quite often, I'm back to ground zero. I'm not going to have any friends unless I make an effort to actually make friends. I didn't have this same perception before, but nowadays I see a lot of people who sort of lack that ability to just talk to other people, to introduce themselves, to make connections, and just vibe with different people, regardless of who they are. A lot of people are in this sort of shy complex, which I understand because I was there as well at one point in my life, but traveling really forced me out of that, because I had to be extroverted. I had to be outgoing if I wanted to make friends, if I wanted to make community. If I wanted to have a good social life that I knew I was capable of having, I had to push myself out of my comfort zone and I had to make it work. So, to put this lightly, my travels would be nothing without the people I have met along my journey. The next point I want to talk about is that the challenges that you face in your life define the life experience that you are going to have. I've found that I've grown a lot as a person, not because life has been easy, because life has been fucking tough sometimes, and that is actually a beautiful thing. I'm so glad that life has pushed me through all these hurdles, and that allows me to actually expand upon myself and grow and learn new things and change my mindsets. My life is very different now before I left for this journey, because I have a completely different perception of reality. I have different belief systems. It's about having experiences, and whether those experiences is with another person or starting a family or, you know, traveling to another part of the world and just trying different things, trying different jobs, trying a different career, your life should be about experiences. And, you know, if you don't value experiences, if you do want that sort of stability and comfort and just ease of life, that's completely fine. You can do that. But from my own point of view, experiences is what makes life worth living. So definitely push yourself to have experiences. Push yourself to be the best person that you can be, because this is what life is about. And the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you are actively seeking out knowledge and information to better your life, to better other people's lives, to better find your place in this world itself, the more your consciousness is going to expand in ways that it's difficult to describe. It really is difficult to describe. So if you are in a challenge right now, reframe it in a way to think, what can I learn from this? How can I grow as a person? How can I actually expand myself and have a better life moving forward than I did before this challenge occurred? Use that challenge as an opportunity for your growth and your personal evolution, and you are going to be smiling, looking back at this moment. The last thing I want to talk about is that life is impermanent, and I cannot stress this enough. Life is a transitory process. You cannot avoid it, you cannot escape it, and sooner or later changes come in for you one way or another. So you can either jump on that boat and ride it and embrace change as it's something beautiful, or you can grip onto the familiar as change is pulling your legs away from it, causing you a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, and it's going to change anyway. It just depends on how it changes and how elegant that process of change is. Every situation is just so different, and every situation will end, which is, you know, it's a bittersweet feeling, because it is sad when it first starts happening because you lose people and it does feel like a loss. So when you've got a great friendship group in some country, or you've got a really good job, or you're with a special person that you love, and suddenly things move on and it's time to let go and it's time to move on with your life, of course it's going to be sad. But that sadness doesn't last. As long as you do the healing and you let go without holding on to something and you allow your life to shift, I can guarantee you that soon enough you'll be in a very different situation, but it'll be just as amazing. And this is part of traveling. Every experience is completely different when you are traveling. There's no baseline, there's no normal anymore. I was constantly going in and out of relationships, dating different people, having different friendship groups and different communities that I was sort of living in or working with. I had different jobs, I was in a different culture, a different language, I was eating different things. Just literally every aspect of my life changed with every place that I went. Every experience was completely different. And this is part of the beauty of traveling. It's that everything is completely different. Life is very, very temporary. And you really start to understand the fleeting nature of reality. It's like you're going down a river, and if you're trying to hold onto the side, it's just going to create a lot of resistance in your life, and it's probably not going to work out. So you just, swim in that river. You allow it to take you down, and you allow your life situation to change and different things to happen. And this is actually a really beautiful way to live. This is living in a state of non-resistance, in a state of flow with the universe, and allowing your situation to change. So I cannot stress this one enough. If you are holding on to a situation in your life, let it go. Let life take you to the next opportunity. Don't just hold on because it's comfortable or it's familiar or it's safe. Even if you're not on a journey around the world, you are on a journey of life. So make the most of it and enjoy this time while you're here.